You got solar being a renter, not out of water.
All right, let's get this meeting started. How's it going?
Good.
Great. Last weekend was good?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so let's get today's meeting started. First of all, happy Monday. There's a lot of momentum happening with the company, and a couple of things I want to address is we are approaching November, right? So it's the last two. Think about how fast that year went, didn't it?
Yeah.
I remember when we were putting the company together, it was this time last year. It was in it was in October, exactly in October, where we really started. By a year ago, we didn't even have a name of the company. You guys know how I always mention everything is created twice? First where? First in the mind, then where?
In the physical.
In the physical, right? We had no idea for the name of the company. Then we said, we finally came up with the name Build. Like, that makes sense. But the solar division should have a different name, right? So we came up with the name Encore Solar, right? For the solar division. This is something that I have never seen happen, right? Where you got two companies, a direct sales company, high ticket sales, and then the networking side with residual. And fast forward a year later, man, I don't know how many, maybe 500 sales have been done already. We are in the top 8 dealers with Freedom Forever. Soon we're gonna be number 1. I think by this time next year, we'll be the number 1 dealer in all of Freedom Forever.
Wow.
And yeah, it's really exciting how things are going, man. And because we have a unique business model that you can't compete with. You know, at the end of the day, you can't beat sheer numbers. Then when you have a focus of personal development, I believe that the industry that we're in, direct sales and network marketing, is a personal development vehicle with a compensation plan, right? So how many of you guys have already felt that you're growing as a person?
Yes.
Your self-confidence, your public speaking, your sales, etc., right? So anyways, I shared this flyer on the group last week. How many of you guys saw it on the WhatsApp group? They go by fast because everybody's sharing their 8 points.
Yeah.
By the way, kudos to all of you guys sharing your 8 points every single day. How many people in the room are following 8 points and counting their 8 points every single day? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that means that you guys got to share your points. I'm talking today. We're gonna have a conversation about being core. About being core. So, as you can see here, if you want to be core, core is somebody that not only is in it to win it, but somebody that's following the system religiously. Somebody that is adamant about following the system. And there's no ambiguity here. If you want to be successful, we teach you, by the way, can you send her the 8-point system, just a slide of the 8-point system? There's no ambiguity here on what it takes to be successful. For example, if you worked as an insurance agent or a real estate agent, right? Some companies have a really good system that's clear line down the path on what you need to do. Most don't. I'll tell you from experience. When I was a real estate agent, a young real estate agent, what I mean by young is in my younger years of real estate, my first years of real estate. I worked with a small office here in Downey, California. They had no system. The seasoned agents went in there, they already had their customers, everybody had a different system on how they worked. I would get in there and I was 24, 23 years old. And I remember thinking, what am I supposed to do all damn day? I mean, I know I need to go door knock. I should go door knocking. I don't have any listings, so maybe I should ask one of the seasoned agents if I could do a listing at their house. But there was no system. If they told me, here's the things that you got to do on a daily basis, and then something like this, it'd be very clear. So today I want to make it clear. I want to make it abundantly clear, because some people, maybe in this room, maybe on Zoom, or maybe people that are not listening to this, some people, a year's gonna pass by, 2 years, 5 years, and they're gonna still be in a place that they don't want to be, and it's purely because they're not being coachable. So you know, for your notes, you want to write this down. Who have I been listening to? Those of you guys on Zoom especially, ask yourself, who have I been listening to? Here's why. And I want you guys, when I train, this is next level, man. We got to go to the next level. Whenever you hear a trainer train, first of all, people are not going to train in this company that don't deserve to train in this company. Does that make sense? Yes. We're not going to put somebody up to train that is not worthy to train. I want you guys to pay attention to not only the message that you get from the trainer, but I want you to pay attention to how the trainer trains. When we pause, when we speed up, the voice fluctuations. Does that make sense? The pauses. In public speaking, your pauses make a big difference. Okay? So, who you've been listening to. Who you have been listening to is one of the major reasons why you have what you have and are the person that you are. From your parents, to your teachers, to your network. If you got people, let's say you grew up with parents that were afraid of everything. And I understand, right? I believe in the philosophy and teaching your kids don't talk to strangers, of course. But that doesn't apply when you're in business and you're an adult. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. If you're taught that rich people are evil, by the way, a lot of minorities are taught rich people are evil.
Yeah.
They're just taught that, which is complete bullshit. Rich people are evil, says the parent that goes to a job that they're grateful for because the owner of that company is rich and took a lot more risk. As an entrepreneur, you take a lot of risk, don't you? I remember one time I opened up a call center, right? I remember one time I opened up a call center. And when I opened up the call center, it cost a lot of money. I had to raise money. I turned my sales, it was just like an open room for presentations. I put cubicles in there. I bought computers for it, right? I hired a bunch of people. I invested a lot of money. The people that work for that call center, you know what they needed to do? Fill in an application. They were guaranteed some money. I was not. There was time where the company didn't make the money, and I had to go to another account to transfer money to this account, so the employees got paid, and I didn't get paid. That is the fabric of an entrepreneur. You guys understand?
Yeah.
And 95% of businesses that open in 2 years fail. So then you got the 5% that make it. Does that mean that they're rich? No. They just made it. Then like another 80% failed 3 years later. Traditional business. Then you got that small percentage of people that make it and maybe become successful. And that doesn't mean rich. It just means successful. Then you got a small percentage of those people that become millionaires. Yet you got people that, because their parents told them and their parents told them and their parents told them, rich people are evil. Rich people are bad. They probably got rich by screwing people over.
They're going to hell.
Yeah, rich people are going to hell. Yeah, let me tell you something. Who you've been listening to has a direct correlation to your relationship with money. Some people, without knowing it, they will sabotage. Perfect. So I'm going to use both of those. So let's go back to the original one, and then soon I'll go. Yeah, perfect. Some people will unconsciously sabotage a relationship with money because they think that money is bad. It's been ingrained so far back there that is bad. Some of you guys, I'm sure, when I talk about big money, there's some people that the inside of you kind of fights with it, like, oh man, because that was me. Here's one thing that you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that money is neutral. You want to write that down. Money is neutral, meaning it's neither good nor bad. Money is what you make it. Money is neutral. I truly believe that if you are a good person, you'll do good with money. If you're a bad person, you'll do bad with money. You know, they said, what's his name? The funny guy, Ace Ventura. What's his name?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Once he got rich, he divorced his wife, then he went and started dating a supermodel. He changed. No, he didn't change. He always wanted to date supermodels. He just couldn't before. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I believe, this is my personal belief, and you could believe whatever you want. I believe money makes you more of what you already are. You give a good person a bunch of money, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go help a bunch of people. Yeah, they might not drive a nicer car on their way to help people. But you give bad people a lot of money, like Bill Gates, for example. I don't like that guy. I think he's like a real life villain in the world, right? They're going to do a lot of bad things. That dude wants to block the sun. No bullshit.
Buying up all the farmland.
He buying up all the farmland, putting all kinds of stuff in he wants to, anyways, I'm not going to go down that route. Not doing it. I'm stopping myself. I think that guy's the scum of the earth. That dude is the scum of the earth, man. The world is better without people like that. Send that dude to Mars and shit. Let him do his thing over there. So, anyways, I try to throw some humor into it, right? But I'm serious with everything I said about it. Anyways, my point is this: who you've been listening to. So, who will you listen to? Now, I'm not saying you need to listen to me, but I will tell you this. I will let you know and prove to you the results I've gotten in this business that you are a part of, and you can decide if that is worthy of you listening to. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
For example, let's talk about solar cells. Has anybody here reached 100 to 130 installs a month within your team consistently? Okay, if you would like to, somewhere up to there, that's how much as of right now I can teach you. You tell me 200 installs a month, I've never done 200 installs a month as of right now. But I guarantee you we'll reach thousands. We will reach thousands a month. You mark my words. But up to 130, I can teach you. And guess what that does? It generates, in our comp plan, not only a lot of money, more important than the money is a freedom. Freedom. Everybody say freedom.
Freedom.
Interesting that's the name of our installer, isn't it?
Yeah. Forever.
And freedom meaning, it's one thing to make $100,000 a year, $100,000 a month, whatever the number is. By the way, there's nobody here that should be shooting for no less than $100,000 a year, $8,300 a month plus. Nobody should be shooting for that, less than that. 100,000. Back in the days, in the early 2000s, $100,000 a year was the holy grail. A rock a year, that's 100 grand. A rock a month now, for those people that really want it, and that's not, I'm not saying that you should have a goal to make $100,000 a month. You know, that's up to you. Is that possible? Sure, that's absolutely possible. But at least $100,000 a year, guys. You live in California. Shit, man, $100,000 a year, man, you're just getting by, right? So, you have to ask yourself in this business, who am I listening to and am I coachable? So here's a coachability index. I'm gonna go through as fast. Coachability index. Your willingness to learn multiplied by your willingness to change or / apply. Willingness to change and or apply. So your willingness to learn on a scale of 1 to 10, how willing to learn are you? How many notes are you taking? Do you review your notes and do you apply what you learn in those notes? Are you learning with the intent to teach? Like, when you guys start to get your little groups of people and start training them, doing game plan interviews with them, doing fast start trainings with them, doing launch events with them, presenting for them, that's when you reach another level of leadership. Because now you're not just plugging them in. They're plugging them into you. Let me help Amelia. Oh, you recruited Amelia. Have you done a game plan interview with her? No, great. Let me do a game plan interview with Amelia. Now you are a part of the system that they're plugging into, and you're following the system that is taught to you by people that know. Can you put the 8, make sure the AC is up, please? Thank you. Do you guys see where I'm coming from with this? Yeah. Say game plan interview. Let's say we schedule the Zoom launch. Let's invite 10, 15 people on the Zoom. Let's use the script. Let's call the script. Right? She gets 5, 10 people on, and I present. You're now unlocked, like in a video game, you unlock another level of leadership. Does that make sense? Then you unlock another level of leadership, right? When you become a mentor, you're closing other people's deals. You unlocked another level of leadership. And the more levels of leadership that you unlock, the more valuable you become, and the more your confidence goes up. And I guarantee you the money follows. But here's what happens. Most people don't give it enough time. That's why, what does the first one say up here? First bullet point?
Let your foot off the gas for the next 5 years.
So you want to be core? This is what the core means. Don't let your foot off the gas for the next 5 years. When I say, I want you guys, once again, notice my pauses. I want you guys to learn the message. I want you guys to learn how to train. When I say, notice the pause there? Don't let your foot off the gas. What does that mean? What does that mean to you, Mark?
Keep going hard, stay consistent.
Go full throttle. Even if you get some, keep on going.
Huh?
Even if you get some, keep on going.
Yep.
Yeah.
No stops
Stay
and
committed.
goes.
No starts and stops.
Stay
Stops and
consistent.
goes. Stay consistency.
Yeah. Consistency and fail forward. Like if you're gonna fail forward. Don't fail and start back and stop.
Yep.
It's like,
Don't show up last week and this week and then miss next week and the next week. then come back. Does that make sense? You got now. Am I saying that you're gonna make every train, every event? That's not what I'm saying. But here's what happens, man. It's a slippery slope when you let yourself. You know what? I guess missing one training is okay. Just because it's a little cold outside, I think I feel kind of. Matter of fact, am I sick? I should probably stay home. No, if your butt is really sick, stay home. But some of you guys are like this. You guys know what I'm talking about. Especially when it gets cold. And we're such softies in California. There's never bad weather in California, by the way. FYI. This goes to me. There's never bad weather in California. Ever. Never. You live in California, the weather excuse will never exist. It never exists. It's pouring cats and dogs outside. That's not bad weather. That just means it's raining. If you want to be core. If you want to be a champion. If you want people to remember your name. That is not an excuse here. Traffic? That's a different story. But guess what? Traffic exists for everybody. And can you leave a little earlier?
Yeah.
Doggone right you can. You can leave a little bit earlier. So you want to be Corey. This is a formula to 6 and 7 figures. 5 years. Is that worth it?
Yeah.
To achieve 6 figures plus?
Yeah.
You do not let your foot off the gas for the next 5 years. Tough times come and obstacles come for everybody. Tough times come and obstacles come for everybody, right? This happened in my life, that happened in my life. Listen, the bottom line is this. Successful people have a lot less starts and stops. Bottom line. My brother's been working with me for a long time. David and Varia too. Jessica already, 3 years, right? Ask them how many starts and stops they've ever seen from me. None. Freaking none. I've gone through some ish. But you better believe business has to get handled. And I'm going to handle business. You know why? It starts with, what's one word why? It starts with the I.
Intention.
That's not what I'm looking for. But that is, nope.
What was the question? What?
Why do I not have starts and stops? Or like extremely minimal?
You're committed.
Starts with an I.
Oh, with an I.
When I tell you, you guys will be like, oh man. Identity.
I was gonna say
Identity.
Identity makeup. Say I am legend.
No, listen, identity. Your identity about yourself. How many guys hear me say that?
Yep.
Some of you guys is not clicking, and I'll tell you what. One day, it'll click for you. When you see your identity shift, you're gonna say, I know what JC was talking about. I didn't get it for so long. It really didn't click for me. Now it clicked. Because I am not the same person I used to be. I'm not. I'm not the same person that I used to be. Now I think different. I act different. I am a different person. Period. It's identity. Right? So number one is don't let your foot off the gas for the next 5 years. The next one is generate 8 points every single day if you're part-time. How many people here part-time? Raise your hand if you're part-time. How many people here full-time? If you're full-time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got to be generating 16 doggone points every day. It's not easy, but it's doable. But you don't want it to be easy. That's the thing. You don't want it to be easy. So watch. Let's go to the next one.
Just they had we said a coachability and they said willingness to learn.
So you're
Because I didn't get to write down the.
the teachability in this is your willingness to learn. So scale of 1 to 10. What is your willingness to learn? Versus your willingness to change and or apply on a scale of 1 to 10. What is it? So you got two numbers: willingness to learn and willingness to change and apply. Okay. So on your willingness to learn it, so what you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is you want to get to above an 80 when you multiply those two numbers. Let's say you say, I'm a 9 willingness to learn and I'm a 9 in willingness to apply. Multiplied by 2, that's an 81, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. So your willingness to apply, or are you on what's out there?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. There you go, perfect. So when we go to the 8-point system, part-time people. Okay. Oh. Let me trace it. One second, guys. All right, here we go. If you're part-time, 8 points a day. Anything from here will do. Somebody says, I'm full-time and I want to make a 6-figure income plus. I want to build a business and treat this as a career with a 6-figure income. Well, how many if you prospect somebody by the way, you should prospect, here's the numbers, write this down. You got to prospect 2 people every single day. You got to do 2 new prospects every single day, whether for the business or for your products and services. You got to prospect 2 new people every single day. Every single day. Okay? So attending training is a point, personal development is a point. Okay? Every hour of prospecting, whether that's on the doors or on the phone calls, every hour of prospecting, guess what? That's another point. So if you're on the doors for 4 hours, you just generated 4 points. You came to training, that's another point, you're at 5 points. Let's say you made 3 follow-up calls. You just got 6 points because of the follow-up calls. Some of you guys could make 8 follow-up calls, you just generated, guess what? 16 points. 8 follow-up calls a day? Now, if you do that many, you're gonna run out of follow-up calls. Like, whoa, I've already gone through everything, which is a good problem to have. Guess what? You go and generate more leads. You go on the field for 3, 4, 5 hours, you got 3, 4, 5 points. You got a couple more leads that guess what? But you got it, you're full-time, 16 points a day. I'm telling you how to make 6 figures to 7 figures, 6 to 7 figures. That's 100,000 or 200 or 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900,000 or $1 million between now and the next 5 years. Even if it was the minimum that I'm talking about, 100 grand. How many of us think that building a business that you got a solid $100,000 a year career / business in 5 years, if it took you 5 years to get there, it'd be worth it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I ask people, what would you have to do at your job to get to $100,000 in 5 years? Most people, there's no path to $100,000 a year in my job, most people. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine you go to your boss, I'd like to have a conversation with you. What's up? Give me the path for $100,000 a year. In the next 5 years, I want to be with this job with you, making $100,000. What do I got to do? There's no path for 90%, 95% of people at a job. So what if you actually bought in? Remember, who have you been listening to?
Yeah.
Who you've been listening to? Who you've been listening to is going to determine, and here's the coachability that it's got to be. Jump how high? I'll tell you a story. 2010, I had a mentor, Jay Nolan, one of my best friends in the world. He says to me, JC, how old are you? 28. You married, kids? When I barely met him. Nope. He says, I've been looking for somebody like you. If you do what I tell you, you're going to become a millionaire. He says, you need to not have a girlfriend. You need to not have a comfortable TV or even a couch. No comfortable couch, no TV in your place until you're making $20,000 a month for 6 months in a row. No girlfriend, no couch, no TV. For 6 months in a row, 20 grand a month. Until you make 20 grand a month for 6 months in a row, you can't have a girlfriend. That's the level of coaching that I got. And guess what? Didn't have no doggone couch and didn't have no doggone TV. And that's it. No, it's because when I met him, I had a girlfriend in Vegas. So it was like I didn't have a girlfriend because she was in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I only saw her when I was in Vegas. Huh?
How convenient.
No, it's true. No, so I already did.
It worked out.
No, but check this out. Then I broke up with her, right? We break up. No girlfriend. Then I started making 20 grand a month. Then I started dating a new girl. Interesting story. Everybody ever see Hitch? Anybody ever see Hitch? The movie Hitch?
Yeah.
So I met her speed dating. My friend says, we're playing poker at the casino. He says, hey man, I don't play poker anymore, please. We're playing at the bicycle casino. He says, hey man, let's go to the speed dating thing, bro. I'm like, speed dating? That sounds interesting. play poker
Or speed dating.
or speed dating. And then it was all the way in downtown Los Angeles, STK Steakhouse, I remember.
Oh.
I was like, you know what? Fine, let's go. So I go and I meet this girl and she became my girlfriend, right? But I was already making what this guy told me. I wasn't even thinking of girls. I was thinking of building my business. I was working. I don't recommend it 7 days a week. I do recommend 6 days a week. Now I follow what the creator says. Work 6 days, rest on the 7th day, right? But I was working 7 days. And I got sick. My first 3 weeks, I was working 12-hour days, 7 days a week. No exaggeration. I got sick as a dog. I got a fever. I got sick as a dog. By like the 3rd week, I was burning the candle at both ends. I was just super excited. My point is this. When I started dating that new girl, one day she comes over to my house, and guess what? There's no couch and there's no TV. What are we gonna sit on? Well, the bedroom. There's no couch over here, so we can sit on the floor here, or we can hang out over there. No, I'm serious. It's a true story. This is 100% true story. Then I went after the first date with her in my house. I said, I'm gonna go get me a couch and a TV. And I remember I drove a black SL 500 Mercedes, hardtop convertible, black car, red interior. So you can't fit a TV on that car. But I went to right there on Garfield and Firestone. It's like a Costco, but it's Sam's Club. Go to Sam's Club. I buy a TV. Somehow I fit a TV, not this big, but a little bit smaller. On the back seats are not back seats. They're not seats.
Right.
It's a 2-seater car. But it looks like seats, like little compartments. I put it on there, I put the top down, the big old TV was sticking out, and I took that TV to my house, and I put the house finally. But my point being with that story is this, coachable. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to make 20 grand a month. I wanted to make $1 million a year. I wanted to be a millionaire. So he told me, who have you been listening to, JC? That's why who you've been listening to is the reason why you have what you have. If you don't like what you have, it's because who you've been listening to. And guess who qualifies as who you've been listening to? You. You've also been listening to yourself. When you say in the morning, oh, I'm going to just sleep in a little bit longer. Oh, I'm not going to go door knock today. Or I'm not going to go to the networking event today. Or I'm not going to take notes. You've also been listening to yourself. And if yourself is not the person, guess what? You're also not getting good advice. He says, if you're going to work with me, you've got to be supremely coachable, more coachable than you've ever been in your life. And I said, I'm going to be more coachable than ever. I'm just telling you my story so you guys can see where I'm coming from. Now, everybody's in a different place. Back then, I wasn't married, didn't have kids. I know that things are different when you have kids. I get it. So I'm not over here suggesting that everybody get on the same track that I'm on. You guys follow me?
Yep.
Okay, so, however, how many of you guys here by show of hands can agree that, let's go to the original one, please. How many of you guys can agree that you haven't been pushing as hard as you should? Or as far, or as much as you could?
Yeah.
And that's most people, let's face it, that's most people. But the bottom line is that most people, the level that they're pushing themselves in their business is not even close to their potential. Let's face it, most people are lazy. Most people want to achieve, I talk about it all the time, interested versus committed. Right? You're either interested or you're committed, right? So you've got to make sure that you are committed to what we're doing. So the first one is, don't let your foot off the gas for the next 5 years. If you're core, by the way, that is what core means. Not to let your foot off the gas for the next 5 years. If you have, do you have WhatsApp open there?
I do.
Okay, just watch. Let's close this out, and we'll go to WhatsApp. Where's WhatsApp? On the app? Okay, perfect. Let's open this up.
That's cool.
Oh, I sent it over here.
Spider-Man might be your son too.
All right, here we go. So, 8 points if you're part-time, 16 points if you're full-time. The next one is, make no less than 20 phone calls a day if you're part-time, and 40 phone calls a day if you're full-time. Notice, even if you're part-time or if you're full-time, this is still the formula for 6 figures in 7 months, 6 to 7 figures in the next 5 years. Does that mean that it's going to take you 5 years to do? No. But you got to be willing to go bell to bell, not let your foot off the gas for 5 years. Some of you guys are going to get there in 1 year to the 6-figure mark or multiple 6 figures. Some of you guys are going to take 3 years. Some of you guys is going to take the whole 5 years. Doesn't matter. What if Pete gets there in 3 years and you get there in 5? Is that the worst thing in the world?
No. Nope.
It's not. Some of you guys are going to see somebody here that's got, watch, listen to what I'm going to tell you next. Some of you guys are going to see people that you see here that are way ahead of you right now. But they're not going to be supremely coachable. They're not going to be supremely coachable. And you are. And within a year or two, you're going to pass them. Within 3 years, you'll smoke them. Listen to what I'm telling you. Some of you guys look at people around here and you're like, man, so-and-so has so much more experience than I do. They already got sales, they're already a mentor, they're already building a business. Woo, forget about it. But if that person is not coachable and you are, you're gonna do this. They're here, you're here. In 2 years, you pass them. In 3 years, you smoke them. And you know what happens? A lot of times people are not coachable, you know why? Because they've got a little bit of success. One of the biggest killers of coachability is success. One of the biggest killers of growth is success. Because they've already achieved success. Maybe somebody already made 100,000 for the year. And to them, they're like, nobody in my family's ever made 100,000. I'm making 100,000 and I love what I do. And this is good. And good is the enemy of what? Great. And because of that, they're not going to be as coachable. They say, oh, that's fine. Or maybe they don't make $100,000 a year. Maybe they make 70 grand a year, but their spouse makes another 70 grand a year. They make $140,000 a year, and they're good. And because of that reason, they won't be great. And guess what? That's okay though. I'm not criticizing that, because if that's what is good for you and that's what you're happy with, there's an opportunity for those people, and there's an opportunity for the people who want to do bigger things. That make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, if you notice, 8 points, no less than 20 phone calls a day if you're part-time. This is if you want to make 7 figures. What are some examples of these phone calls to be making, guys?
Calling realtors.
Calling realtors, what else?
Following up.
Following up.
Plumbers, HVAC,
Roof.
Yep.
Introducing the business.
warm
Yes.
market.
Warm market,
Yeah.
anything pertaining to your business. I called David. David, we haven't talked in a long time. How's it going? The kids are good, family's good? Great. David, let me ask you this, brother. Okay? I know that we haven't talked. I know that we've worked a couple businesses in the past that didn't work out. I just want to be very transparent, brother. I'm at it again. I've got something that's extremely powerful. I know you've heard that before. Are you at all open? There's some people that we've worked network marketing business together that I'll straight up have a conversation like that. I'm unapologetic about it. We tried 2 network marketing business together. It didn't work. I know you've heard this before. You're going to hear it again. Are you open at all, bro? Because I'm more excited about this than anything else. Let's say he says to me, no, bro, I'm done with that stuff. Hey, fair enough, no problem. I make it seem like I'm about to bounce. Then I say, by the way, just so you know, what got me the most excited about this is that you can make 6 figures, multiple 6 figures without recruiting a soul into your business. That's never existed in network marketing before, bro. If you change your mind, David, you let me know. But the posture that I'm talking to him with alone is like, oh, that sounds interesting. Hey, you're a sales guy, bro. I mean, you've been in the car business for a long time. This is a solar industry, bro. Average commission of $7,000. You don't have to build a team at all if you don't want to. We got people making $200,000-$300,000 a year without recruiting, bro. This is much different. But if you're not open, bro, I respect it. But I feel like I gotta let you know at least that much. Do you guys see the difference in posture?
Yes.
Let's see 20 phone calls a day. It's not easy. But here, I'll tell you this though, it isn't hard. It's not hard, dude, to make 20 phone calls a day, guys. You know, some people think part-time, 20 phone calls. Formula for 7 figures. Some people think, oh, 20 phone calls. Man, that seems like a lot of phone calls because you don't even make 2 for your business. Some of you guys don't make 2 phone calls for your business. I mean, doggone it. How do you expect to be successful with 2-3 phone calls? But when you go and start doing 20 phone calls, 30 phone calls, and you're consistent with it, you realize it isn't that hard. It isn't easy, but it ain't that doggone hard. You know what? I'm gonna get 10 of those phone calls out the way. I'm gonna call realtors. There's a script. The company already has the tools. They have the scripts. I'm gonna watch the scripts, study the scripts, and I'm gonna call 10 realtors. And I don't give a damn about the results yet. I give a damn about the action. Because there's 2 things we can control. What are they?
Action and your attitude.
Yep, attitude and action. It's the only thing you can control. Now, you're doing these phone calls, you're gonna suck in the beginning. You're gonna fall on your face. I'm telling you, when that happens, you need to be happy. Because you gotta first be bad before you can be good. Every hero was once a zero, right? So you gotta first be bad. And Jay-Z told me I was gonna suck at this. Jay-Z told me I was gonna get a bunch of rejection. He told me, focus on the activity. It's only 2 things we control, my attitude and my actions. So I got the attitude of a champion, I'm doing the actions, the no's don't faze me. I need to do this because the more I do this and I guarantee you, year after a year, you're gonna be much better than you were day one. Can we agree?
Yeah.
100%.
Most people don't give it that time though.
True.
I see this all the time in martial arts. I teach, like for example, I just shared, you guys should check out my story. I shared a story for 5 years ago. Interesting, we talk about 5 years. I shared a story on my Instagram. My son was 5, he's now 10. At 5 years old, I'm showing him how to throw a 1-2, a jab cross, right? I showed 5 years ago today. And he was already in bed. We had just put him in bed. I wouldn't wake him up. I said, son, I need you for 1 minute. And he's kind of angry, right? Because he just got out of bed a couple minutes ago. And I showed him the video. I said, I want you to do the same techniques right now, exactly 5 years later. I shared on my story last night. You see the difference from 5 years. Now he's at unconscious competence with throwing those techniques. And we don't even train kickboxing. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. But we warm up with kickboxing when we train at home. But nevertheless, you look at the difference from when he was 5. Now, granted, some of it has to do that he's also bigger, right? He just understands his body more. But nevertheless, the technique. But most people, guys, are not gonna give it the time to get the technique down with the repetition. You're gonna quit because you get a couple of no's. And that's what you gotta go through. So, if you're full-time, 40 phone calls a day. The next one is, make sure that you're showing the plan at least 4 times per week. You gotta be showing the plan. What does that mean? Who can tell me what showing the plan means?
You show the business, show the proposal.
Yep. Showing the business, recruiting people, or showing to a customer. For the water, for solar, for security. You gotta be showing the plan 4 times per week. Again, this is for 6 figures and 7 figures. 6 to 7 figures. This is not for everybody. Somebody says, look, I don't really have that much of a desire to make 6 figures. And can you, by the way, can you get to 6 figures without following this? You absolutely can. But I'm telling you, a path that is the fastest path to 6 figures beyond. And notice that it doesn't happen overnight. I say 5 years. We got people already that made 100 grand in our company already. Not even a year or 2. Already. Does that make sense? You alright, bro?
There's some water?
Water?
I'm good.
Give her water. So check it out. Making me cough, man. Now, when I say showing the plan, by the way, when I say showing the plan, here's what it means too. You don't have to be the one showing the plan. When you're new, maybe you're not the one showing the plan. You're new. I get Mark. I get, my mentor. Let's say, for example, Johnny. And I put him in front of somebody so they can show the plan with my leadership. Maybe he's a mentor on a deal, and he's helping me with doing the presentation. 4 times per week, you got to be showing the plan somehow. I don't have that many homeowners. Great, they show the plan to the business. But you got to be showing the plan 4 times a week. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
You got to be, here's what you got to be doing. I'm going to put simple terms. You got to be asking for money 4 times a week, dude. It's called GTC. That stands for get the cash, get the contract, get the commitment, get the crypto, shit, get the money somehow. Get the contract signed. Get them to sign on the line that is dotted. You got to be asking for the money all the time. Listen, the rubber doesn't meet the road until a sale is made. The world moves because of sales. Without salespeople, there's no jobs, man. Can we agree?
Yep.
Yeah.
You think the grocery clerk is going to have a job if they're not selling groceries? Luckily, that doesn't need a salesperson, right? You don't got somebody, hey, would you like to buy some bread? No, you just go and pick what you want. That's why there's little money in it. That's why there's big money in this. But all those freedom employees wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for us finding that business. That's why we get paid more money. That's why the potential for a salesperson is significantly greater, isn't it?
Yep.
You want to make big money, you got to ask for money more frequently, 4 times a week, at least. You guys follow me?
Yep.
It's a simple, dude, simple. So when you combine this with the 8-point system, look, I know, okay, 5 years, it takes 5 years to make what?
Life fair.
It takes 5 years to make life fair. That's what I say. Don't let your foot off the gas for 5 years. Follow the system, the proven system, and here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna see these people here 2 months from now, some faces. You guys ever see in movies or in pictures that they show in movies where you see a group of people, then you see a person disappear from the picture?
Yeah.
See another one disappear from the picture? That's gonna happen here. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. Some faces are gonna disappear. 6 months from now, they're gonna reappear. Man, I went and tried this other company, JC. You know what, man? They just, my bad, dog. I'm back. I'm telling you, that happens all the time. Guess what, though? When you're core, it doesn't matter who goes and who comes. You're core. You're focused. You're here. I'm here till the wheels fall off, bro. I am committed. And listen, guys, that doesn't mean just our company. Let's say this was a real estate office, and we meet on Mondays and we go through the script for door knocking, and we say, great, from 10 to 2, you're door knocking. Then from 3:30 to 6:30, you're cold calling. Same thing would happen. People would disappear. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. New people appear. Seriously, this is a formula for success in anything, dude. Right? The only thing that I would add to this is you gotta make sure that you are attending trainings, which is part of the 8-point system and the don't let your foot off the gas for the next 5 years. The 8-point system, training is included in there. That's why the 8-point system covers so many things. But I'll leave you with this last thing. It is not hard to do. As a matter of fact, it's easy to do, but it's what?
Easier not.
It's easier not to do. You have to decide, hey man, am I gonna be like the combined average of the 5 people that I spend the majority of my time with? Because they've done studies. They say that you are the combined average of the 5 people that you spend the majority of your time with. You're the combined average. Hang out with 5 broke people, you'll be number 6.
Yep.
Hang out with 5 winners, you'll be number 6. You hang out with 5 people that make an average of 70 grand a year, they say that your income will be $5,000 to $10,000 up or down of the combined average income. So let's say, for example, we all here hang out. Let's say the average medium income here is 70 G's. I'll be somewhere between 60 and 80,000 of the average income of the 5 people I spend the majority of my time with. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Should you hang out with people that are making more money?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Then some stuff starts to rub off. They say, hey man, how many calls do you make a day? Remember, that was a question I asked on the top recruiter panel, if you guys remember. Yeah. How many phone calls would you say that you make a day, bro? Because I wasn't even thinking of asking that question, but right in the moment that question came up. And I said, I want people to know how much these top recruiters, and here's the thing, some of the top recruiters, guys, were the top sellers in the company. And I've told you, that's what made me the top seller in my last company, being the top recruiter. 3 years in a row. I said 40, 50 calls a day. 40, 50 calls a day. I've said that for years, dude. And if you notice, they were all saying 20, 30, 40 phone calls a day, 50 phone calls a day. It gets to the point where if you got idle time, you're uncomfortable. I hate idle time. Like, I'm just like, man, I'm not being productive. The shit. They grab my phone, start making some phone calls to some prospects. I just know. I don't care if it's 100 phone calls I get one new recruit or one new sale. It matters. Because I can make that extra 100 phone calls every week. The extra 100 phone calls in a week or in 2 weeks, and I get extra recruit, or I get extra sale. You better believe that there's no month that goes by that I don't get at least a couple of recruits, 3, 4 recruits, and 1 sale. There's no month that goes by, in addition to everything else that I'm doing. If I just focus on sales and recruits, I'd make a ton. But again, it comes down to identity. that make sense?
Yeah.
How many of you guys got some value from today?
Yes.
I'm telling you guys, 2029 is gonna come. We're already in 2025 in a couple of months, right?
Yep. Yeah.
2 months is 2025. I'll say this. The end of the year, and you guys have heard me use this analogy before. The end of the year, ladies and gentlemen, is a time to push more than ever before. Because you got some enemies coming at the end of the year. What are those enemies?
Holidays.
Doggone right. Holidays are momentum killers, but not for winners. For average folks, takes them out. There's some people that are going to go into the holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, motivated. But because in Thanksgiving they're going to take a week off, they're not going to be able to recover from that week off. I'm telling you. They say, I'm going to relax. You know, it's the holidays, right? I'm going to relax, you know. Not going to worry about it. Not going to talk to people. I'm just enjoying my family. Christmas, I'm going to take a week or two off. I'm going to just enjoy my family. Which nothing wrong. Hey, listen, man, enjoy your family. I'm going to enjoy mine. But here's what happens. Identity. The identity of the person is a mediocre identity. You know what happens those 2 weeks? They turn into 4 weeks. They turn into 2 months. 2 weeks turn into 2 months. Now they were consistent with showing up. They started to gain some momentum. They started to get some confidence. All of a sudden, apathy kicks in. They're just not really motivated anymore. You know why? Also, something has to do where you hang out at maybe Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe you got some family members, some friends that are not very ambitious. That maybe are a little bit negative, and that stuff rubs off. Shit, I go. Any family that's come to my house, I'll wear it ready to talk about politics and religion. Just kidding. You know what I say? Don't talk about those things, right? But my point is this: a winner with the right identity impacts his or her environment. Everybody else is impacted by their environment. You're not gonna put me in any doggone room. I don't care how negative people are, how crazy people are. None of that stuff is gonna faze me. I'm still, when it's time to get to work, I'm gonna get to work. I never consider a Monday not coming here because I'm uncomfortable or because I'm tired. That's irrelevant. What has to be done for a winner has to be done, and how they feel has nothing to do with what they're gonna get done. Dude, that's so key that I'm telling you. Most people are driven by their emotions, how they feel in the moment. I don't feel that good. I don't feel that comfortable today. It's too cold outside. I'm tired. I had a long weekend. And that impacts what they do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sir.
You got to get to the point where that doesn't impact what you do. Right? So, let's go through wins. Who's got some wins? Let's talk about sales. Let's talk about recruits, affiliates, bills. What do you guys got? Start right here with Mark.
I got a sale this past week.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Sale? All right, dog. Get on up there and ring the bell.
Go.
That time.
Let's go, bro. It's that time. Let's ring that bell.
Jingle bell.
Yeah.